The history that was taught by the Romans is a lie. Like
Listen,
the
I
Romans
hear you.
let me say this.
Yep.
The Romans didn't come into Africa until the 1800s. This is facts by the Romans.
Wait a second. Wait a second. The Romans did. No, no. I'm trying to understand your point. The Romans didn't come into Ethiopia until the 1800s.
Correct.
I
It's
disagree
facts. It's
because
facts. Now
no, it's
they
go ahead. Go ahead.
stole the scriptures from Ethiopia. So 325 is made up. It wasn't no council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Those are made up dates by the Romans with the made up Jesus. They made up Jesus and created time, a false timeline. Everybody in the world follows that timeline and that counsel. When you follow that timeline and counsel, your mind become colonized by the
Amen.
Romans.
Okay. Oof.
It's deep.
I respectfully disagree. So it's well documented the Nicene Creed, and it's also well documented that the Aksumite Empire before 325 was trading with Rome. Like it says in the Kebra Nagast that Solomon will have children that will sit on the thrones in Ethiopia and in Rome. Right? I used to live in Rome next to the obelisk of Axum that Mussolini stole, and it was struck by lightning. There's been trade happening since the time of Sheba. I mean, frankincense and myrrh. These were old trade routes of the Silk Road. Like this, the world is only smaller today because of technology and fast, but it's always been international. And Rome and Ethiopia have traded back to the time of Makeda
Brother,
and the time of Yeshua. So the
brother.
Ethiop.
That's
This
what
is why the
brother man,
Orthodox. Go
brother man.
ahead.
This is what I'm saying. It's no trace of Jesus other than what the Romans have told us. Africa never taught about Jesus. How can the Romans steal something? How can the Romans steal an African book, turn around and teach it to the world in their version?
So
That's called what? That's
I
called
agree with you.
that's called colonization. So this is how they have colonized the world with false time, false history, and a false story. This is facts, brother. Because the throne of David, hold up, brother. The throne of David that the descendants of David gonna sit on is in Ethiopia. It's not in the sky. Ain't nobody gonna come from the sky and
I
govern
agree.
Ethiopia.
I agree.
Nobody from the sky to govern Ethiopia. Ethiopia is gonna be governed by the lineage of David that's in captivity. So the Bible let us know the house of David is where? In captivity. If you turn to Matthew chapter 1, the house of David is carried to Babylon. So right now, this house of David is in Babylon. They're going to rise from Babylon and restore the throne of David. That's Bible prophecy. But we not following Bible prophecy. We following what the Roman Catholic Church and the Council of Nicaea that was created in the 1800s have pushed on the world.
So you
That's
think the
what we follow.
Council of Nicaea was created in the 1800s?
I know, for a fact. I know 100% fact.
But Constantine, you don't know, like Constantine didn't create
That's what
the
I'm saying.
Council of Nicaea?
Constantine is a word like a title. That's not an actual person like we think. Constantine dealt with the fallen angels. So the fallen angels got together with the Romans and created a council to,
In the
to, to
1800s.
put the world under. The whole world is under the Jesus Christ Council. Like, how when Africa never taught about Jesus Christ? The Romans had to come over there and teach about Jesus Christ. But this is an African book. Why we didn't already know about Jesus Christ? Because the whole Christ story is a prophecy of the last days. It never happened.
So do you believe that the lineage of David runs through Menelik in Ethiopia?
No, it runs through the people they took from Ethiopia and brought to America, Great Britain, and the islands.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But it happened a while ago. Like you
What,
don't
what,
believe in
what,
Menelik? You don't
And
believe in the
I
Keber
understand.
Nagast?
Go ahead.
You don't believe in the Keber Nagast?
Yes.
So the story of Makeda and Solomon and Menelik?
No, these are holy teachings about a certain time. These are not his history stories. That's what the Roman Catholic Church have done. That's the false teachings. These writings, like Moses wrote about who? Christ. So Moses' writings is not history. Because who did Moses write about? Moses wrote about Christ. Who did Isaiah write about? Isaiah wrote about Christ. Who did Jeremiah write about? He wrote about Christ. So all these writings that we might go look at as history is actually prophetic visions about the last days. But when the average person go in it believing in Jesus, they go in it as a history book. When the Bible is a prophetic book of holy teachings written in stories. Holy teachings written in stories. That's what make it allegory.
So you believe in the Bible?
Yes, I believe in Bible prophecy, not
Okay,
Bible teachings.
even though the Council of Nicaea edited the Bible books that we know of.
No, the Council of Nicaea withheld books from being in the Bible. That's why we
Correct.
got the Ethiopian version. That's why we got a King James version. But if this thing about if a lot of African Americans would have read the book of Enoch, if you read the book of Enoch, you won't believe in Jesus. You'll believe in the Son of Man. Because in the book of Enoch is no Jesus. But we don't get a chance to read these books because of the Council of Nicaea, because they had these books withheld from us.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying
Okay.
that
But I'm saying,
happened.
but that don't change the Bible. That don't change the
And I
Bible
don't
and
necessarily disagree, but there's a lot that's been left out. Again, 18 years of Yeshua's life's been left out.
he's not real, brother. Like Jesus is not real until the last days. Jesus walking the earth right now, but guess what? We can't see God Jesus because what Jesus we got? We got the Roman Catholic Church. So we can't see who Christ is.
Yeah,
We got a false teaching from the Roman
because
Catholic Church.
Jesus is made into an idol like all other God. That was not the point of the teachings of Christ, was to be worshipped as a God. I mean, this is the interpretation by the Roman Catholic Church. All right. Well, interesting. I enjoy the reasoning. I appreciate you let me on the chat. What's your
No
names again?
problem, brother. Appreciate you coming up.
What's your name?
My name is Yaju. Yaju Judah.
Yaju. And you?
Kamani.
Kamani. They call me Nicodemus. Victor
Nicodemus.
Argentina.
Okay, Nicodemus.
All
I talk
right.
to you.
All right. Blessed. All right. One.